they go, bucking and rearing on the start, and coming across it's Okoniewski, the talented Pole, picks it up from the start. One of the favourites for the meeting. In second place is David Kujawa, a fellow Pole. Back in third in blue is David Ruud, the Swede. Way at the back in white is Bjorn Hansen, the Norwegian. But Rafał Okoniewski, a favourite with many for this meeting, is looking as if he's settling straight away.
Yes, Tony, Okoniewski really is one of the favourites for this one. I've heard he's a very, very hard rider. He doesn't stand for any messing around whatsoever. He'll move riders out the way, but he made the start from gate 4 now, riding right round the inside of the circuit, which is the quickest way round here in Heat 1.
As it starts before the dirt moves outwards, we heard Simon Malenko talking about that. But as it stands at the moment, he's not going to have to be tough. He's not going to have to be hard, because this man, Rafał Okoniewski, is looking mighty good here. The number 4 race jacket, the yellow helmet colour, of course, for the outside gate in this format. A little bit of action at the back with Bjorn Hansen, the Norwegian, trying to make ground, but I think it's going to finish exactly as it is. The checkered flag inside, the man that wins it, Rafał Okoniewski. Looking back in second place is David Kujawa in the red helmet colours. Third in blue, that is David Ruud. That's how it's finished. So, a great ride by that man. He may be pretty close to being favourite, and, well, he couldn't have started better. Rafał Okoniewski, the Polish hope here for this world title, is certainly the student from Ljubljana, who races from Slovenia. Chris Slabon is the Polish-Canadian going from gate 2. We know Jarek Hampel, who races for Ipswich in the elite league in this country, and so too do we know Lukas Drimmel, the very promising Czech, who raced, of course, for Oxford. And
a long way from the outside, riding with a knee brace on. Here we go.
Here we go, and on the inside trying to keep it down is Zagar, but he can't do so. The man in blue picking it up, Chris Slabon. Speed on the outside in white from Jarek Hampel, with a great following of Ipswich fans, but going past Hampel inside and outside. On the outside, Lukas Drimmel now to put the leader under pressure. The man in red in second place is Slovenian Matej Slega. But look at the battle, it's all over the place here, and now it's the Slovenian picking it up from Ljubljana. Matej Slega out front, going by him is Chris Slabon to pick it up now. Anybody's race.
Yeah, Chris Slabon's out in front. He went off the line there, left a big gap, but all the time stalking this pair on the outside. Lukas Drimmel back to the inside, but the rider in white there, Jarek Hampel's come through and pushed Drimmel back into last place, Tony.
Well, problems for Drimmel because his way was blocked by Hampel as he tried to select another line to take, and as they go into the final lap, the man in blue, Chris Slabon with the Canadian flag. Chris Slabon, who of course comes from Poland. His father Robert used to ride for Eastbourne. He's now in the lead here. In the early 80s, Slabon raced 26 meetings for Eastbourne. That's Robert. This is Chris of that pedigree, and he wins this in blue. Second place in red, and just on the line, holding on in white with engine failure there, was Jarek Hampel, and I think he held off the challenge from Lukas Drimmel. We might have to see that on the line as they go across, but no doubt about the winner. There it is on the line. That's the winner safely across, Chris Slabon. Second place in red, Matej Slega. But look at this here, engine failure, but Hampel just about makes it to get the point there as his engine fails, and Lukas Drimmel disappointing for him in last place. So a tremendous ride by Chris Slabon, the 20-year-old from Wrocław in Poland. The talented rider Krzysztof Kasperzak from Poland. Gate 2 in the blue helmet colours, Miroslav Wenzel from the Czech Republic. Gate 3, they're cheering for him here, is Simon Stead from Great Britain, the young Yorkshireman, and that's at Peterborough here on his home track. And on the outside, Tomasz Czernovski. He won the Czech qualifier, Czernovski, or the Polish qualifier rather. He won the qualifying round of the Czech Republic with an unbeaten 5-ride performance. But watch the man in right, Simon Stead. He knows the track, away they go. Stead kicks it down well, but impressive on the inside is Kasperzak. But now Kasperzak in the lead in the white. Simon Stead comes out of the pitch bend in second place. Back at the rear now, but quite a battle generating there. Czernovski is right at the back. The man in blue inside him is Miroslav Wenzel. But on the inside, Krzysztof Kasperzak, the Pole, is keeping that Polish tradition going. But the cheers around the arena for Simon Stead in second place. Back in third is Czernovski from Poland, and right at the rear in the blue helmet colours, the Czech Miroslav Wenzel.
Yes, out in front, Krzysztof Kasperzak. He is the youngest rider in the field here. He's only 17 years old, and he's already sorted out the track. He's got to stay down low. Simon Stead there looks as though he's beaten here because nothing much he can do. He's been attacked here from Czernovski on the outside, but out in front, Kasperzak is getting all the grip.
Well, we've got some Polish talent here. Quite a race going on behind him, but the man in front, Krzysztof Kasperzak, the 17-year-old, as Peter said, the youngest rider in the field, and showing composure, showing talent, and now taking the checkered flag in the red helmet colours. But Simon Stead in second place will keep in the battle. The Brit there, the third place going to Thomas Janowski from Poland in the yellow helmet colours, bringing up the rear, but a great ride by Krzysztof Kasperzak, the youngest rider in the field, but he's certainly not the worst. And David Howe, the local favourite, who races for Peterborough, goes to the inside in red. Freddie Eriksson, the Swede, who races for King's Lynn, goes in gate 2 in blue. It's Lukas Romanek, the Pole, going in white from gate 3, and on the outside, Roman Kromik, the 18-year-old from Rybnik, yet another pole. Plenty of poles in this meeting.
Should be easier for him to make the start off the inside, Tony.
David Howe keeps it down and will hug the curve. The rest go wide, but round the outside goes Kromik, the pole, and the poles are getting this just about right here, because if he stays here, it'll be 4 Polish riders if you count Krzysztof Slabon as one, and he lives there certainly, although he's riding with the Canadian label today. But this man out front is Roman Kromik, the 18-year-old from Rybnik. In second place, David Howe, the youngster, the 19-year-old who races for Peterborough, originally coming from Leicester, but now he's been taken on the inside here, and Freddie Eriksson, the Swede, is battling with David Howe. At the back, it's Lukas Romanek, not at the races, but a real battle there in second place.
Yeah, certainly it was David Howe that made the start. On the outside there in the yellow, Kromik got the lead early on, right round on the first turn, but there's a massive challenge now coming from Freddie Eriksson. Freddie's not rode particularly well here last time, but he's now gone round the outside of that David Howe.
That won't be popular with the Peterborough fans, because Freddie Eriksson in the blue helmet colours, that battle in second place. David Howe in red from Great Britain, out front and going to take the checkered flag. The 4th pole of the day, because Roman Kromik is going to win it. Yes, he does, from the outside. Second place in blue goes to the Swede, Freddie Eriksson, who races for King's Lynn. And 3rd place, disappointment for David Howe, the local 19-year-old who races here for Peterborough, has to be content with taking 3rd place. But Roman Kromik is the man that takes the checkered flag there.
Was going to catch him, but David, big challenge now from Freddie Eriksson. Now Freddie's the first rider to use the outside and make it work, because he's got the little bit of grip coming down the straight, and look at that extra dirt there. David's back wheel spinning on the inside. Freddie Eriksson for Sweden just had enough drive to get round him there. He lifted, almost lost it, but held on to that, kept the bike on the fast line, and basically took that 2nd place from David Howe.
Already a winner of his first outing on gate 2 in blue. That's David Kijawa, a 2nd place first time out. That's those 2 points. It's Matej Zegar, the 2nd place rider from Slovenia. He's in white gate 3 on the outside, as we said, the Union Jack belonging to Simon Stead.
Yeah, round the middle. Let's see what Simon can do off gate 4.
Well, he's certainly gated here, and he's going to come across, and Simon Stead can pick up grip round that pits bend. He's going by 1. He's chasing the leader. The leader is David Kijawa. 2nd place already for him, the pole. Simon Stead's in 2nd place. Problems at the back for Matej Zegar, the Slovenian. But out front, fast again, is David Kijawa, the pole, who finished 2nd first time out, and the chase is on for Simon Stead in 2nd place.
Yeah, Kijawa looks so fast here, Tony. Out in front there, blue helmet. Simon Stead's chasing, but Simon had to come from the gate 4 position, a long way to the first turn there, but Simon again, he looks as though he's in line for a 2nd place. Behind him, Roman Kromik there in 2nd place, Kromik right in 3rd place behind Simon Stead.
Well, it looks as if we're going to have a 5th pole in a row to win this, because with just a lap to go, looking fast, furious and pretty impressive, and now going wider where the dirt has gone is David Kijawa. And David Kijawa, the 20-year-old from Zielona Góra in Poland, is going to take the checkered flag here with some comfort. Simon Stead, though, gets 2nd place in yellow, 3rd in red, another pole. Roman Kromik takes him on to 4 points to follow his heat victory first time out. A disappointment at the back for the Slovenian Matej Zegar. So another win for a pole. David Kijawa has won that one, and the checkered flag. Young Swede goes in the inside in red, 2 points for the 2nd place first time out. It's Krzysztof Kasperzak. He came first in his first ride, those 3 race points. He races in blue. David Ruud, the Swede, 3rd place first time out, goes from gate 3 in white. From the outside, disappointment for Jarek Hampel, who had a motor failure going across the line, but still got 3rd place in his first outing. This is heat number 6.
His first ride.
Yes, Kasperzak, well, quite a talent, a 17-year-old from Leszno. Oh, a bit of bumping and boring, and Jarek Hampel comes back wide on the inside, takes advantage of that to go by the man that bumped into him, David Ruud. Dare I say, it was a very rude move on the first bend, but in blue out front is Krzysztof Kasperzak. He's sorted them out. He's in front for the 2nd time. He's going to take some catching here with Freddie Eriksson in his wake.
He is, Tony. I noticed him straight away in that first race. He does look something special, although he's lost a place there. Freddie Ericsson's taking the shortest way around the circuit, but just look at there, the rider in blue there, Casper Jack just holding him up, gets a big nudge there by Ericsson and pushed out towards the pits.
We heard about some aggressive riding. I haven't seen too much like that. We've got Sweden against Poland. Any boxing match would love this. And now Kasper Zak has packed up. There are all sorts of problems. Freddie Ericsson in blue, and Kasper Zak is furious. Hand on his hip. Look at that. He is absolutely livid, the 17-year-old. But certainly it provides joy for the man from just up the road who races for Kings Lynn, because the wheelie from Freddie Ericsson in red, second place in yellow, goes to Garrett Hampel, and last place, but it's third now in white, goes to David Rood. And Kasper Zak was absolutely furious with that, and I'm sure his problems were caused by a bit of bumping and boring with that man who's absolutely elated. Freddie Ericsson, the young Swede who races for Kings Lynn, and the 20-year-old from
ready to swoop there on the inside. Almost runs into the side there of Kasper Jack going into the corner, but Kasper Jack keeps going. He runs wide into the dirt. Now he cuts right across the inside here of Ericsson. Really jacks the other riders up onto the inside line there, but Ericsson just kept coming again. Here's another nudge there on the inside of Kasper Jack. And from here on in, really, the bike of Kasper Jack, the winner of the earlier heat, started to slow, and in the end the bike just packed up altogether. We can see he's still in second place, but the bike there has given up the ghost completely. The rider in yellow there, Garrett Hampel, grabs the second place. Very unfortunate for him, but I'm sure at 17-year-old he's going to get a lot more chance in this event in the future.
Well, the young Swede who benefited is Freddie Ericsson. He's with Sam and Susie.
Well, who says it's all about the first corner? What a load of rubbish. What a heat. That was extraordinary.
Yeah, it was a hard heat and nice racing, I think.
Nice racing, a very aggressive racing.
Yeah, it's hard to find a line to pass somebody over here now because the track is quite slick, so you need to be quite hard otherwise then.
Quite hard on Christoph there. He was looking very angry about that, but I guess that's Speedway.
Yeah, but... Yeah,
it's a world championship, isn't it?
Yeah,
bro,
exactly.
Freddie, bro.
5 points now, so you must be feeling fairly confident, fairly happy with that start.
Yeah, the gate was not really good one, but he had a good line on outside and passed me out to the corner, but what to say about it? It's working good again and it's good, so hope we go on.
Just tell us about the gates that you've gone off, because we've seen a varying different amount of gates here today that have been, there doesn't seem to be one that's better than the other, does there?
No, if you're first into the corner you have a choice to make which line you want, so that's how it is, but it's quite hard track, and I say that, and really sand in the start, so it's hard to find some grip.
Okay, well, we enjoyed watching that. Thank you.
From the Czech Republic goes in red on the inside. David Howe, the local favourite, just the third place, first time out in blue, gate 2. Christoph Slabon, a heat winner, going under the Canadian flag, and of course comes from Poland, goes in gate 3 on the outside. That's Bjorn Hansen, the Norwegian rider. Disappointment for him with a last place, first time out.
Looking for more speed after that first one.
Away they go, and trying to keep it down on the inside is Miroslav Fensel. The man in white, in blue, David Howe, will pick up speed out of that pit spin, and away he goes to the cheers of the Peterborough fans. Certainly he's made some difference here, David Howe. On the outside, Chris Slabon is mounting a challenge in white. Back in third in red is Fensel, the Czech rider, and right at the rear, Bjorn Hansen. But David Howe might have it right this time.
Yes, David's looking much quicker. He's now putting some distance between himself and Chris Slabon. Slabon in the white helmet in second place, going pretty wide there, but all the time he's trying to catch up to David Howe. But if David can just do the right thing, ride that quick line, which he seems to have now found, he could have 3 points in his hands here, Tony.
David Howe looking good with this one. A lap and a quarter to go. Going wider behind him is Chris Slabon. Even wider at the back is Miroslav Fensel. Back in third place, Bjorn Hansen. Into the last lap. The cheers will resound around this East of England showground. If this man, David Howe, takes the checkered flag, which he'll do in a matter of seconds, despite the challenge on the outside, and David Howe wins it. Ahead of him, white in second place is Chris Slabon. Third in yellow is Bjorn Hansen. Disappointment for Miroslav Fensel, but for David Howe, the 19-year-old, born in Leicester, the 2000 British Under-21 champion. Could he be on the way? Has this set him? He's helping him in the pits. Is Jason. Gate 2, Lucas Trimmel, disappointing. First time out for the Oxford rider from the Czech Republic. Gate 3 is Thomas Chanovsky. He had a third place first time out for that 1 point. He goes in white. And on the outside, it's Lukáš Romanek. He too unplaced first time out. That's the lineup. Okoniewski gets a real jump at the start, comes across Thomas Gollop fashion, round the outside though, and picking up group is Romanak to go by him. On the inside going by him is Lucas Trimmel, and Okoniewski is back in third place. And if it stays like this, it'll remain that nobody will have won 2 heats, and 5 points will be the leader. Among them, David Kuyawa, Chris Slabbel and Freddie Eriksson sharing the lead. But down the back straight they go with a lap and a half gone. Lucas Romanak opening up a gap, and Okoniewski desperately disappointed, could even be past the third place.
Yeah, absolutely down on the floor there. Kranowski has gone down in the white helmet. The race may be stopped, but he's back off the track, so the race will carry on. But certainly out in front there in yellow, Romanek, the way he went round Okoniewski on the first corner, being chased hard also by Lucas Trimmel in second place.
And Lucas Trimmel now with the challenge there in the blue helmet colours. A real battle out front between Lucas Romanak in yellow and Lucas Trimmel in blue. But it looks as if Romanak is going to get this. The pole from Ribnik, the 18-year-old, takes the checkered flag in yellow. Second goes to Lucas Trimmel in blue, the Oxford man for the Czech Republic. And consolation for Rafał Okoniewski. Real disappointment for him. He was outspeeded from that pit's bend on the first lap. And from thereafter, well, the men in front, that man in particular, Lucas Romanak.
Now it's so important to make sure you keep it going.
Well, these guys certainly aren't letting their guard down. Let's have a look after 8 heats there. David Kuyawa leading the way, Chris Slabbel, Freddie Eriksson, all very consistent. And the Brit boys there on 4 points, David Howe and Simon Stead, still in with a chance. But really, every single point is counting, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Ipswich. A third place and a second place for him is 3 points to date in red. Gate 2 is Lucas Romanak, who won his last race but was unplaced first time out. He goes in blue, the pole. Gate 3 is David Kuyawa, another pole, of course. A second place and a first place for him. He's in the driving seat among 3 riders on 5 points. And on the outside, Miroslav Fencel, the Czech 18-year-old, yet to score. That's the lineup. This is heat number 9. Away they go. On the inside, keeping it down is Jarek Hampel, taking advice in the pits, and now pulling away on that pit's bend. Behind him is Lucas Romanak in blue. Coming through the inside in white is David Kuyawa, the joint leader from Poland, and at the back in yellow is Miroslav Fencel, who's yet to score. But now pulling up, Lucas Romanak has pulled up on the back to lead 3 riders, and the man in control is Jarek Hampel.
Yes, Romanek stopped, but out in front, the rider in Jarek Hampel, who rides for Ipswich in the Elite League here. We've seen him so often before, out in front, riding the quick line. But David Kuyawa, who's going really well in second place, trying all the way, but no answer to Hampel out in front, who's on that fast line and going like an express train, Tony.
Well, Kuyawa in second place may well be happy with this to keep him in the lead, but out front, Jarek Hampel will be absolutely elated to produce his peak victory here if he kicks it down with half a lap to go. The fans from Vauxhall Heath down the road will be delighted with this performance from their famous pole. The young pole, the 19-year-old from Notts, has taken the checkered flag here in red. In second place in white goes David Kuyawa, and well, from his point of view, a great performance by him to keep him in the joint lead. The retirement of the man in blue. On the inside, the pole, who retired in his last race in red, goes to the inside. Matthias Sayar goes in gate 2, unplaced last time out, and second place first time out. David Howe it is, who won his last race, to the cheers of the fans here on his home stadium. And on the outside, it's David Root in yellow. The big screen here in the starting marshal now says, "I'm ready when you are." The tape's held slightly and up they fly. The real flyer on the inside from Janowski now, and comes across and bumps into David Root. Oh dear, but Root comes back well with the bump and all. He's gone to the lead, and a great effort there. They're bumping all over the place. The man in second place, Janowski, causing the problems. The man in white moves into second place. David Howe now to the cheers of the fans, and David Howe is going to pick it up and mount a challenge, but he's got a battle of his own with Matthias Sayar, and way at the back, surprisingly, is Janowski.
Yes, David Howe made hard work of that first lap. He really had to make up a lot of ground coming from last place, but he's up now to second place. This would give him a total of 6 points up to now, but out in front it's David Rood, the Swedish lumberjack, who's way out in front. He's been an absolute sensation in Sweden this year, coming from nowhere, a late starter at 18 years of age, but he is flying.
He may be flying in this one, only 2 third places so far, and he'll be the 10th different heat winner in 10 heats, because David Rood, the Swedish lumberjack from Gislaved in Sweden, and he's going to take the checkered flag here with some comfort in yellow. David Howe gets second place in white and third place in blue. goes to Matezaya. Disappointment for the man at the back. That's Thomas Janowski in the red helmet colours, and it certainly rules him out of contention. But David Howe now very much in this meeting, and David Howe in second place there because points are being dropped all over the place. But the lineup, Lucas Drimmel, the Oxford favourite, goes to the inside from the Czech Republic. Just a second place and unplaced first time out. Simon Stead, the hero, one of the British riders, a Peterborough asset. 2 second places for him so far, goes in blue, gate 2. It's Bjorn Hansen, just a third place to his credit so far in white, gate 3. And on the outside, Freddie Eriksson, the shock winner in his previous ride, the young man who races here for Kings Lynn.
Held up round that fence for him.
Away they go, and a good start by Lucas Drimmel on the inside helps him to take pole position, but drifts wide and allows the man in white, Bjorn Hansen, to put him under pressure on the inside. Back in third place, Simon Stead will now have to work and pick up grip round the outside. At the back, amazingly, Freddie Eriksson, so fast last time out, is struggling, but Simon Stead in blue is now trying to pick it up and set out behind Lucas Drimmel, but Drimmel has this for the taking, and Bjorn Hansen is battling with Drimmel, who's held second place.
Yes, the riders are starting to move much wider now on the outside. Simon Stead has used that really well to come from last position up to second place. Freddie Eriksson went too wide on the first turn, but out in front, Lucas Drimmel is flying, but Steady's got a lot of work to stay with him there. Lucas Drimmel goes so well, rode here for Oxford on Thursday, and that itself was great practice for him.
Well, I wonder when it was a World Championship meeting, got a heat 11 and provided 11 different heat winners. This is absolutely amazing here, because the man in red, Lucas Drimmel, is going to take the checkered flag, and Lucas Drimmel is so wide, he's almost through the fence to take that. Second place in blue goes to Simon Stead. Third in white is Bjorn Hansen, who gets his second point of the day. Simon Stead completes now 3 second places, 6 points, and with this amazing network of points, the way they're working out, Simon Stead, I have to say, isn't out of it, and Lucas Drimmel moves on to 5 points. He's a heat winner, but he's still a point behind our Simon Stead. So Lucas Drimmel takes the checkered flag from that one.
Confused about the track?
Yeah, I feel pretty fast in a straight line, but I'm not hooking it off the corners at all, you know, so I don't really know what I'm going to do at the minute.
Yeah, the chaps must have been giving you some advice. I mean, we saw Shane Parker there having a chat with you. What was he been saying to you?
Well, we just really, you know, tossed a load of ideas into the, you know, the system, and we think what we're going to go with. I don't want to say too much in case it doesn't work, but hopefully, because I just need to get to the first corner a bit quicker as well,
yeah.
and off the corner.
You're having to do so much work, aren't you? That's the thing, and having to stay out of trouble because these guys are so aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, I made a start in the last one where I got there with them, and then it was a big bang, and I thought, well, I'm not getting involved in this, and it was the right thing to do in the end.
That was probably pretty smart, because you're sitting on 6 points, aren't you? And that's, I mean, the winner, so far the leader's only on 7.
Yeah.
So every point's going to count. So just keep hanging in there.
But I've got my next one is a really tough one, and I've got 2 in a row. So this is my meeting over now. Yeah. So I've got to. It's all of us meet really. All the people who you said before the meeting are the favourites are meeting the next one. So I've got to go out there. I'm off gate 4. So I've got to make a really good start.
Okay, David.
Go to 8 points, an outright leader here, but on the inside that's Roman Kromak with 4 points to his name so far. 1 heat win among them. Rafael Okoniewski is the man with 4 points too, including a heat win. Christoph Kacpersbach also has a heat win, so has Chris Slabon. 4 heat winners here, so we're going to have somebody at last who will have won 2 heats. Away we go, they're revving into the tapes as Starling Marshall moves away. Our referee, Mr. Grodzki from Poland, holds the tapes, and on the inside, Kromek picks it up in red, but look at the speed of the man on the outside in yellow. Chris Slabon moves through into second place, now puts him under pressure. Slabon going from last to first and really going wider and wider, PC.
Wider and wider, you're right there, Tony. That racing line's moving out so wide. We saw Freddie Eriksson out there earlier on, didn't work for him, but Slabon looked at that, he's read the race properly, he knew it was there, he took his time, picked one off after another, one after the other, and out in front. But we're definitely going to get a Polish rider winning this one, as we've got 4 poles in this one, Tony.
Well, we're going to get a Polish rider, we're going to get a rider winning his second race, because each of the men in this have won a heat, and with a lap and a quarter to go, this man, Krzysztof Slabon, racing albeit under the Canadian flag, he comes from Wrocław in Poland, the son of Robert, a former British League rider with Eastbourne, is going to win this and take the lead, with everybody having completed 3 rides. The man in yellow, Krzysztof Slabon, has less than 100 metres to go and will take the checkered flag now. In second place in red is Roman Kromak, which moves him on to 6 race points. Third in white is Krzysztof Kasperzak, who moves on to 4 points. Wrocław in Poland, racing under a Canadian licence, leads with 8 points from 3 rides. David Kujawa fell at pole. In second place on 7, Jarek Hampel, of course, who races in Britain. Simon Stead, Roman Kromek and David Howe all have 6. David Rood and Lucas Drimmel have 5. Any one
Out there.
Yeah, so far so good. We'll see what's coming up next.
A lot of the riders have been quite surprised by the track and have been having difficulties setting their bike. You don't seem to have had the same problem.
I don't know, just, you know, probably it's my day. So, I don't know.
We had a chance to, in your last race, we're going to watch a play of it right here. Going into your last race, you really made a big move on the outside. I mean, you dedicated yourself to that. Did you set up for that race like that?
I wasn't planning to do that, but I had no other chance, so I just went for it, you know. So I would have been last anyways, so I'd go for it.
Yeah,
see what happens.
Very exciting. Look how aggressive this corner is. I mean, you really worked really hard, didn't you?
Yeah, it's pretty tough going in there. A lot of bumps and all that.
You know, I've watched a lot of races around here, and there's a couple of guys that have really impressed me. Ryan Sullivan, a home track rider, big leads. In that race, you left your other opponents like way behind you.
Yeah, I was trying to get the gate, but see what happens next heat.
Right on. Well, you're doing a good job.
That was actually the only heat that we've seen so far today where there's been a reasonable distance between first and second place, isn't it? Did you, when you came into this championship today, did you expect the competition to be this tough?
Yeah, it was tough. It was, I don't know what to say.
That's a hard question.
Yeah,
you know, the guys here doing the World Championship, they're all tough, eh?
All of them are good riders, and you know, you don't know what to expect in a meeting like this.
Yeah. But your prospects are good for next year, aren't they? There's a few clubs that want you in the Elite League.
Yeah. We'll see next year, see who calls and who doesn't know.
Chris, would you say that you are the most laid-back rider here today?
Pardon?
Are you the most laid-back rider, the most relaxed rider here today?
I don't know, it might be.
I think you are. You're in the next heat. We'll let you go and get ready for that. Thanks very much, Chris. Off you go.
Thomas Chanowski goes from gate 2, the pole in blue. Gate 3, Freddie Eriksson, the young Swede from Kings Lynn, with so far 5 points to his name. And on the outside, that's David Kujawa, 7, still in contention, the lumberjack.
Yes, here we are on the start again. The track's being graded. A lot of loose dirt being moved around, Tony.
Away they go on the inside. Chris Slabon keeps it down, and Chris Slabon goes to the front. Cole Brown him goes to the outside. David Kujawa, and David Kujawa, the 20-year-old from Zelona Gora. Another pole is in front. Chris Slabon relegated to second place. This could really open up this championship. Third is Freddie Eriksson in white from that fateful gate 3, and at the back in blue, Thomas Chanowski. But down the back straight, Kujawa in control.
Kujawa, this could be an important race here. If he beats Slabon in this one, this will throw it wide open, because out in front there, he's getting loads of grip. The track round the middle is the best line on the circuit right now. Kujawa's riding it and getting loads of speed right round the middle.
If it stays like this, both of these will go to 10 points and will be joint leaders in this World Championship. They go into the final lap with David Kujawa. This will be his second heat win, added to 2 second places, and he's looking very, very good indeed. The 20-year-old from Zelona Gora, who can't keep his place in his own league side, but he's going to win this in yellow. Second place in red is Chris Slabon. Third in white is Freddie Eriksson. His hope's still very much alive, but the leaders go on to 10 points. And that man there, David Kujawa, shares the lead now with Chris Slabon as the result of the outcome there of his last race. The 21-year-old from Sweden is only in his 3rd year in the sport. Gate 2 is Roman Kromek. He also had a heat win in his first outing, since then a 3rd and a 2nd place. Gate 3 is Lucas Drimmel, who won his last race after a 2nd place, unplaced first time out. Miroslav Pencil, well, he only got his last point through a retirement, so he's struggling. This is heat 14, and the meeting very much alive, PC.
Yeah, Lucas Drimmel, he needs an operation.
Heat number 4. 14, away we go, away goes the starting marshal, up by the tapes quicker this time on the inside, David Roode. Lucas Drimmel bumping and boring at the back, but now Lucas Drimmel will try and put some speed on coming out of this pit bend and goes by Roman Krumik as if he's standing still, and Lucas Drimmel now, the white helmet colours, puts the challenge on the man out front, David Roode. Roode looked inside, Drimmel now beaten, will cut back on the inside. It's a really tough race this as he goes by Roman Krumik. All sorts of things happening there. We've only got a lap and a half and the race is up for grabs.
Yeah, David Roode out in front. I mean, he's a lumberjack in Sweden. He's probably spent more time using a chainsaw than a speedway bike. Only started riding when he was 18. But Drimmel, again, he means business. Very, very quick engines, and he's drawn alongside there. What a race.
A lap and a quarter to go. Lucas Drimmel in second place, putting pressure on the leader, David Roode, who went from gate one. Drimmel will go hard into this bend and take him on the inside. Coming back on the outside is David Roode. Drimmel has gone by him. Drimmel in the white helmet colour is very much in this now and could become the first heat winner to win a heat from gate 3, and he's done it in white, ahead of the man in second place in red, David Roode. Third in yellow, Miroslav Fensel. Disappointment for Krumik at the rear there. But what a ride by that man, Lucas Drimmel. All sorts of problems on the first bend, but he fought his way through the field one by one, picked his spot, picked his line, got the grip, and was rewarded by 3 race points. Lucas Drimmel, the
tight back straight, turns very sharply. David Roode out in front, looks as though he's going for the win, but all the time Drimmel's coming, but he's lost a place again to Krumik, but it's temporary because Drimmel dives under the inside of Krumik, takes him wide towards the pit gate, and again in the process catches right up with the back wheel there of David Roode. David Roode's riding that wide line, Drimmel riding the middle of the circuit now. Here it is, Drimmel's reeling him in all the time. It's happening very, very late here because there's only 1.5 laps to go, but at this point, watch the very tight straight here from Lucas Drimmel, very, very tight into the bottom bend there. This circuit is so wide now, it is a fantastic circuit, but here, this is the overtake, front wheel just over the white line, perfectly legal. What an overtake, what a race.
And Lucas Drimmel, I think, is in our studio with Susie and Sam.
Certainly is, Tony. Wow, what an overtake. It looked manic. Is that how it felt when you were riding out there?
Yeah, I think I had to be a little bit hard because I missed the gate, again. I think the gate is most important today, but I missed it and I said, oh no, I can't lose again.
Just talk us through this overtake, Lucas.
Yeah, I was going to inside because there was no choice because the dirt stops you if you go outside, so I chose the inside lane. I was faster there. I'm happy now.
Now, you're the first rider tonight to win off gate 3. It seems to have a gremlin. It seems to be a problem. Very difficult gate to go off, isn't it?
Yeah, today I have very bad gates. I don't know why. When we ran the Elite League meeting before, the track was absolutely different, so I was prepared for that track as it was, but I didn't choose very good bike, I think.
Are you struggling with the setup of your bike tonight?
So I think I have very good engine. I have very fast bike, but I can't do it on the starts very well, and that's I won't miss,
So it's making it more difficult for you?
Exactly, it's very difficult, especially in the final.
Okay, Lucas, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let you get back to your bike.
Inside, Lucas Romanak with a heat win to his name, but otherwise unplaced. Bjorn Hansen goes from gate 2, just 2 third places for his 2 points. It's Krzysztof Kasprzyk. He has a heat win from his first ride, but since then disappointing in a white. Gate 3 is Mateusz Zajar. He goes from the outside in yellow. Could we have a surprise in this one? I don't think any of these 4 riders are going to win the title, Peter.
No, I don't think we've got started off so well, and then he had an engine failure.
While away they go on the inside, it's Lucas Romanak, but he keeps it down now. Putting him under pressure in blue is Bjorn Hansen, but look at the speed on the outside from Zajar. Zajar goes right round the field, and now he's in charge and in front. Disappointment for Kasprzyk, who looks so good, as Peter said early on, but now trailing in at the rear. But the race leader is Mateusz Zajar, and he is flying out front in this one, and going with a vengeance is the 18-year-old from Ljubljana in Slovenia, the second best rider there behind Matej Furjan.
Yeah, Matej Zajar going so well. They don't have a lot of history from Slovenia on the speedway scene, but the way he's riding, he looks as though he's got a great riding style, he's got good equipment, and this guy's really world class. He's riding this bike so well, and that first corner was just immaculate.
The junior champion in Slovenia last year goes into the last lap in front. I understand he's studying for a sports science degree, but he could be back here in the British Elite League next year as a second Slovenian to follow Matej Furjan. But here he looks set to take the checkered flag. The rider in yellow, just Batasejar in first place ahead of the rider in second place. There in blue was Bjorn Hansen, and third in red, I think, came in there was Lukas Romanak. But from that point of view, look, it was mighty close here. There is the winner in yellow. Second place going to the man in blue, Bjorn Hansen, in fact, and third place in red to Lukas Romanak. But the celebrate Simon Stead, 6 points. Jarek Hampel, 6 points. And in gate 3, Rafał Okoniewski, somewhat disappointing after a tremendous first heat win. He goes in white with 4, and on the outside, David Howe has 6. But remember, Kujawa and Slabon each have 10. The winner of this heat, if it's Stead or Howe, could join him. Away they go on the inside. Simon Stead picks it up and he's to the front. David Howe takes a bump at the back and will now have to come through, but he's got the speed to do so and he's making ground on the rest of the field. But Simon Stead out front. 3 race points here if he can make it. But look, he's been taken on the inside by a brilliant ride from Rafał Okoniewski, who's riding a Jason Crump machine here now. Simon Stead will have to come back. David Howe's in third place. Simon Stead is battling and trying. The race of the day, perhaps, and this could count.
Yeah, Simon Stead's still in second place. He's not given up though whatsoever. Okoniewski looking very fast. Now Stead is using that outside run. Has he got enough speed as he comes onto the straight to sneak through? Yes, he's done it. But he's still got 3 more corners to go. Stead is really out wide if he can just get that grip. But he's gone a little bit too wide again, possibly, Tony.
He's got to come back again and pick up grip as Okoniewski goes wide and tries to take him into the fence. Stead locks up there. It's all going to be on this final bend. Simon Stead, will he come round the outside? He's got to come back on the inside. He can't get quite the speed, and Okoniewski wins it in the blue, in the white helmet colour. Simon Stead in second place in red. Third in yellows, David Howe. So near and yet so far for Simon Stead. But I have to say, he's only 2 points off the lead. Okoniewski coming back there after his early disappointments. The heat victory, his second of the day, taking him on now to 7 points. It really is. This is certainly anybody's meeting, and Simon Stead came so desperately close to being just 1 point behind the leaders. Okoniewski wins that one. Stead in second place. Howe in third. Hampel disappointing in fourth. But what a race it was. And well, just one mistake when he was in front, Simon Stead, it might have been so very, very different.
Yeah, disappointment there for Simon Stead, but a great try. He really did well in that one. Off the inside start, he makes a great start off gate 1. Just a beauty. Look at that, he's leading into the first corner. But what happens here, he's got to turn very, very sharply. David Howe gets a big nudge there from Okoniewski, but when they come onto the back straight, because Simon's had to turn sharply, he's lost a lot of his speed. Okoniewski sees a gap up the inside, goes for it there. Now at this point on the outside of the circuit, just coming out of that bottom bend, there's just not quite enough grip out there. But Simon comes into the pit bend. Now this turn is really working for him. Just look at this move here. He cuts up the inside there, decides he's not got enough room to go for it, backs off. Now he rides a tight line here, lifts, now he gains such a lot here, sneaks round the back wheel here of Okoniewski into the pit bend. This time it's the outside blast. Just look at this, really wide, all that grip. It looks as though he's not going to squeeze through the gap there, but onto the straight there, wheels in line, grip all the way. Okoniewski didn't realise he was coming. Here now Simon's got the lead, but again he's gone too wide again. There's not enough grip out wide on that bottom bend. It's a little bit different to the pit bend. That allows Okoniewski to come back on the inside, and at this point Okoniewski takes his line and pushes Simon very, very wide. For Simon, his race was finished here because unfortunately he was at the mercy of Okoniewski by the pit gate, and second place. Can that be enough to still be in a winning position?
Outsmarted me really and made a real good corner and just got the lead off me, so I'll just have to not make that mistake in the next one.
It's very difficult to know how to play it though, isn't it? Because you're obviously looking for some grip on the outside, then trying to shove it up the inside there.
Yeah, it's certainly very difficult, but you know, it's a matter of trying to choose the right line, and there are a couple about, you know, some guys are making the outside work, some guys are making the inside work, so I think you just got to decide which one you're going to do and just stay there rather than trying to go everywhere.
Can you bear to watch it one more time and talk us through a couple of overtakes here?
Yeah, I was getting a pretty good run on the outside, you know, I had a, you know, it was pretty wide there, but, you know, carried the speed on into the next one and stayed wide. And got him just going in there. He was going in very tight and just took advantage of that. But as I said, he was getting a lot of speed on the inside.
Right about here, Simon. You just grabbed a little bit too much and had to turn it, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that probably messed me corner up. I lost a lot of speed there, and
that's where he took the advantage on you, isn't it?
Yeah, he made a very good corner, and just pushed me a little bit too far, and had to make a bit of a locker and lost me speed. But fair play to him. It was a good corner.
Really wrestling, you can see there now, just watching you really wrestling with your bike there.
Yeah.
Just give it 100%, but you gated well.
Yeah, I did. I made a pretty good gate. I've got gate 1 in the next one, so I'll have to try and make another one.
You will have to try and make another one because it's those 3 points. Well, consistent.
Oh no, consistently second. It'd be better if it was consistently first, but hopefully I can get a win out of my next one, and it'll put me well back up there. So we'll have a go.
Still in with a chance, Simon.
Yeah, definitely.
Good luck. Thanks very much.
Better than a third place here, it jeopardises Simon Stead's chances of a title. But if David Kuyawa is relegated to third place and Simon Stead wins his last race, will have a chance depending what Chris Slavon does in heat 18. David Kuyawa goes from the inside in the red helmet colours. Gate 2 is Lucas Drimmel, such a flyer last time out. David Howe goes for the unfavoured gate 3, and on the outside that's Krzysztof Kasperzak now going from Poland from the outside. But we desperately need, if Simon's...
What a day.
They're enjoying every race, every turn of the wheel. Now, this heat 17, away we go. Kuyawa struggles to keep it down. Culling him up is Lucas Drimmel, but Kuyawa comes back round the outside in yellow. Kasperzak tries to put them under pressure, but now the man in blue picks it up, Lucas Drimmel. Kuyawa is in second place, and this will be enough to ensure him of a rostrum place, and Simon Stead would not be able to get the gold medal if Kuyawa stays in that position, but he could be put under pressure by David Howe. The man at the back, Kasperzak, has pulled up in yellow, completely retiring, and now it's left to 3 men to race here, and that man in blue out front is Lucas Drimmel, but the man in second place is surely set for a medal now, because 2 points here will be enough to take David Kuyawa on to 12 points, and then Chris Slavon will need a second place to beat him. If Slavon wins the next heat, he would be the champion, but here with a lap to go, in blue, Lucas Drimmel, faster and faster.
Yeah, Lucas Drimmel certainly in the last half of this meeting has been dominant.
Well, look at the back, because with the man in white, David Howe, if he can put that man under pressure, Kuyawa, it could all change. I don't think he's going to, Peter, but the man in blue wins that, and that is Lucas Drimmel. But in red, in second place, David Kuyawa, a short of 2 points. Third in white is David Howe, and those 2 points enough from David Kuyawa to mean that whatever Simon Stead does in his next race, he can't take the gold medal. And this route goes from gate 2. It's Chris Slavon, perhaps he's champion-elect. In white, gate 3, Lucas Romanek on the outside.
Yeah, it just really depends if Chris Slavon can cope with this pressure. This is massive to realise you're 60 seconds away from being a world champion. He's got the worst gate, gate 3. What can he do with Simon Stead off gate 1?
Referee Wojciech Kłodzki lets the tapes go up. Simon Stead gets a flyer from gate 1. Slavon is at the back. Well, things could all change here. Are we going to have last-minute drama here in this World Championship? Jason Crum watching this, I'm sure, in the pits and wondering. He talked about the nerves, and Slavon is almost going backwards here. But the man out front in yellow, Lucas Romanek, is producing a surprise here after his form in the last few races. Simon Stead in second place. Back in third is David Rood, and disappointment for Chris Slavon, because David Kuyawa could be sent to be the world champion if it stays like this.
Yes, Chris Slavon isn't even at the races. You know, Tony, the realisation of being sat at that start line, knowing that you're going to be world champion, you could very easily be Slavon there. His back tyre's gone. Whether that happened at the beginning, I don't know. He wasn't on the ball whatsoever, but his championship aspirations have gone, and he's going to cruise back to the front. But Romanek out in front, he's going to win this one.
Yes, Romanek with the checkered flag beckoning. I wonder if the puncher caused the problems for the flat tire, and Chris Slavon's hopes have burst. Well and truly, the race won there in yellow by the rider in yellow, Lucas Romanek. Simon Stead in second place, David Rood third, but there is the disappointment, and it probably shows under his helmet, because there was the world title for the asking, and such desperate disappointment for the 20-year-old from Wrocław, who came, of course, spent much of his youth in Canada, and now, well, he had thought that today would have been glory day for Chris Slavon from Wrocław in Poland, but no doubt about the glory for the winner, Lucas Romanek, in that one. Consolation indeed for Romanek, because it hasn't been all plain sailing there, but there's going to be a race off, and our man Simon Stead and Chris Slavon will contest it for the bronze medal. Heat 19 though now, away they go on the inside. Bjorn Hansen picks it up, but the man in blue it is that takes the lead. Janowski from Poland. Kromik is their man back in last place as Jarek Hampel moves into second place now in yellow, the man in white, Kromik. But out front and fast is Thomas Janowski.
Yeah, Kronowski there in the blue helmet leading this one from Bjorn Hansen, the Norwegian. Third place there, Jarek Hampel, having a pretty consistent day here, but never amongst the winners. But out in front there, being chased. That's Kronowski being chased by Hansen. Hansen's coming on the inside, but the track is holding out really well. It's been great today. We've had fantastic racing. Full credit to the Peterborough track staff, and I'm really glad that they've done such a good job of this circuit.
Well, a 20 heat meeting, a lap and a quarter to go of this heat 19, but we're going to have at least a ride-off for third place before the presentations are made. This one, though, for token placings and piling up points. The man in blue, Thomas Janowski from Poland. Second place in red, Bjorn Hansen, the Norwegian. Third in yellow, Jarek Hampel, the Pole, who races for Ipswich. And that's how they're going to finish. Blue, red, yellow, and Thomas Janowski. A heat win, and Thomas Janowski's first heat win of the night. Ahead of, in red, Bjorn Hansen, the Norwegian. And third in yellow, Jarek Hampel. It's had a disappointing afternoon because...
Wasn't it?
I just missed one heat. It was the first one. I was struggling on the gates. I was running for 1 point, but I was trying hard, to get 2 points, and I just lost it and finished as a fourth. So it's just a bit unlucky, I would like at first say big thank you to my mechanics and my father, because without them it would be not possible. Even I would like thank you to man who does my engine. I think I had a pretty fast bike today, but I'm a little bit disappointed because it's only 1 point, but otherwise I must be happy because such a bad start of the meeting and then I finished second. It could be worse.
It was really, wasn't it? I mean, you came so strong towards the end of the afternoon, but by then it was almost too late. Was that first heat that really put you back?
Yeah, because I thought the first race I could be better. I just chose wrong sprocket on the bike, and it was my fault. The track was pretty slick on the inside, so I just was trying to go outside and I lost it because there was no grip, and I'm a bit disappointed now.
I bet you are disappointed. There must have been a point halfway through there where you thought you possibly could win this World Championship today.
Exactly. Before the meeting, I was just thinking about the first place, but after the first race, I just thought, oh no, I struggle a bit. I will be happy if I be in the first three. But I saw the meeting how it looked, so I said I have still chance to be there, and I was trying hard.
You tried very hard. Thank you very much today, Lucas. Well done. Here's Heat 20.
The rostrum with Kajawa the winner and Drimmel getting the silver medal. But this is Heat 20. There's the lineup. Matej Zajar on the inside in the red. Freddie Eriksson in blue goes from gate 2. Fensel goes from gate 3 on the outside. Okoniewski, who could also qualify for that runoff if he wins this one. Okoniewski will be battling and does. We could have a 3-man runoff for that third place here. Okoniewski in the yellow helmet colours, who started so well, is finishing strongly in second place in red. Matej Zajar. Okoniewski back on his own bike, having borrowed Jason Grump's machinery until now. Back in third place in blue is Freddie Eriksson, and this man may be wondering what might have been.
Yeah, Rafał Okoniewski looking so strong, so fast. He was one of the favourites to win this today here, but if he wins this, he's going to be in a run-off with Chris Slavon and Simon Stead for third place. They will all be finished on 10 points, and he looks so strong in this one, and he is one hard man to beat.
He will be. He started hard, he's finishing strongly, and with a lap to go, barring an accident, barring a mechanical failure, Rafał Okoniewski will have a chance of getting the bronze medal as he battles with Chris Slavon and Simon Stead in a race yet to come. But he's won this with some comfort in yellow. Second place in red, Matej Zajar. Third in blue, Freddie Eriksson, the Swede who races at Kings Lynn. And disappointment for Miroslav Fensel, the 18-year-old Czech at the end. But Rafał Okoniewski has finished the meeting very much as he started. He's had 3 heat victories, but in between, disappointment. Okoniewski there, taking the checkered flag, 3 race points. And here, Drimmel, who races in Britain for Oxford from the Czech Republic, gets second place and the silver medal on 11 points. But we have a 3-man race-off for the bronze medal, and that will be between Rafał Okoneski from Poland, Chris Slabon, the Polish-Canadian, and Simon Stead, who's the property of Peterborough, in whose stadium we are here this afternoon. White helmet colours, Chris Slabon desperately disappointed. The puncher presenting him perhaps of taking the gold medal. And Rafał Okoneski, who started so well, he's provided 3 heat victories here tonight, but he still is only going for consolation and the bronze medal. Away they fly on the inside. Simon Stead does quite well to keep it down, and Simon Stead is in front. Could we see the bronze medal coming to Britain? But look at the pressure from Rafał Okoneski, goes round the outside and picks up grip that's been there for the last few races, and now Simon Stead is going to be passed as well by Chris Slabon. Who's going to win this one?
Yeah,
quickly?
Simon's made the mistake here, sticking round the inside. He should have moved straight to the outside, but round the outside, Chris Slabon has picked up a place here. He's trying to get round the outside. Okoneski's leading this one, but you've got to be out there in that dirt. On the first lap, Simon Stead didn't do it, and he's paid the price.
Well, it looks to me as if Rafał Okoneski, who started so well, who's come back strongly, is going to get rewarded with the bronze medal now, because he got the right line, possibly advised in the pits by Jason Crump, and with just a lap to go, Simon Stead will now be back in 5th place and suffer that disappointment, because the man in yellow, Rafał Okoneski, who started brilliantly here today, the 21-year-old from Leszno in Poland, with many fans to back him, has gets the 3rd place here. Chris Slabon, the consolation, it's 4th place for him and not a rostrum place. Simon Stead in a red finishes 3rd in that race, but Rafał Okoneski it is that gets the bronze medal behind Lucas Drimmel, the silver medal, and the gold medal belonging to David Kawaya, the 20-year-old from Zielona Góra. So the Poles have done pretty well. A Czech sandwiched in between them, but 2 medals for all of you at home.